All right, so good evening, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. It's 3 ways to build your business and make more money using surveys. We probably could have come up with a catchier, snazzier title than that.
But we did add a little subheading, which was things that you've probably never thought about. So
Absolutely.
that made us a little bit more cool.
Absolutely. So we all know what surveys are. We're going to show you how to do them in your business in a more effective way.
Before we go any further, I'm just going to give you some rules. Make sure you do take lots of notes. We are going to be throwing a lot of information at you, giving you a lot of strategies and a lot of practical things that you'll want to go and implement pretty much straight away in your business.
Absolutely. Number 2, make sure you pay attention. You have our full attention for the next hour. We're not going to be doing other things or playing Super Mario or anything like that. So make sure you pay attention, because at the end of this webinar, we're going to be asking you a question. Now, the answer to that question is embedded in the training. So make sure you pay attention, because the person, we're going to do a draw of all the correct answers, and that person will win a cool prize.
A cool prize. We'll tell you more about the prizes in a few moments' time. Also, make sure there's no distractions. So I know you love your Facebook, and I do too. But for now, close it off. There's nothing that's probably going to affect you in the next hour that would be of anywhere near the same value or impact on your business and your life as what we're about to share with you. We're pretty sure of that. So do yourself the favor, shut down any distractions so you can really focus and do yourself the service that you deserve.
And finally, make sure you write down those questions. As Kennedy said before, again, we can't see the Q&A box right now. So write down your questions if you have any, or pop them in the Q&A box and we'll get to them at the end. But if you do put them in the Q&A box, again, we're not ignoring you. We're just holding them over to the end, because who knows, we might go ahead and answer your question anyway.
Okay, so before we go any further, you've probably heard of our survey platform called ResponseSuite. And just let us know in the Q&A box, who would like to win a free complimentary copy of a lifetime account of ResponseSuite? Who would like to do that? Put your little your name or me or little greeting in the Q&A box. Let us know that's you. If you'd like to win a lifetime account of ResponseSuite, who would like to do that?
Excellent.
Okay, so the good news is we're going to give one person the opportunity to do exactly that at the end of this session. And like Rob said, we'll be asking a question at the end of this session, for which the answer will have been covered in the training itself. So something's going to happen in the training. We'll be asking you a question, and we'll be picking one of the correct answers as the person to win a free lifetime account of ResponseSuite. That's not just lifetime as in it stands still. Whichever upgrades we put in, whichever additional features we'll be pulling in, which are hundreds planned over the next 10 years, at least that we're going to be around. I mean, we're going to be around forever. You'll be able to have all the full advantage of all of those upgrades. So that's what's going to be happening. Quick word of warning that we should probably have said a little bit earlier.
We are both British, as you can probably tell from these accents.
Which means we'll be speaking in these kinds of accents. And also means we'll be speaking quite quickly.
Yeah.
So I hope that's okay. Is that okay with everybody? Just let me know in the chat box, that in the Q&A box, that you're pretty cool with that. Is that okay?
Let's face it, we only have an hour here. We've got loads of stuff we want to cram through. We've had to just be really careful to cram as much in as we can. So we'll speak quickly. Please try and listen faster, and then you'll be able to pick up on everything that we say, hopefully.
Yeah, we do only have an hour, so we're going to try and cram as much in as we possibly can. So who are we, and why are we here, and who's talking to you right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Rob. Hello. I'm a hypnotist and an infopreneur. That means I walk around on stage hypnotizing people and doing a comedy show, but I also create and sell info product businesses, which I've been doing for the past 7 years.
Yep.
With some success, and had a great time doing it, built some successful businesses.
And I'm Kennedy. I'm also an entertainer. I do a comedy act, and I'm also a coach. So I also coach other entertainers on building their businesses. I have membership programs. I've also worked I had a business in the fitness space. So I've done a number of info businesses as well.
Now, you'll notice we don't have a slide that says how much money we've made and all the people we've helped.
Just, who cares?
Nobody cares. But we've done well, and now we help other people to do the same thing, and that's what we're going to be sharing with you today.
But I want to tell them the truth, Rob. because we don't really do most of the work in this office, right?
That's very true.
We have a good time, right? But we want to show you a photograph of the people who do the real work in our office. Now, they've gone home, but this young lady here, this is Grace. She's our content marketing and social media expert. She creates blog posts for us every single week. She works with our full-time designer. She does all of our social media stuff. She works really, really hard.
Absolutely.
The only person that works harder than Grace is this guy here. This is our Colin. And Colin is the person who's developed our ResponseSuite platform from scratch right here in our office.
That's right. We didn't outsource all of this to, far off lands.
No.
We've had built the whole company right here in the northeast of England, and we're super proud of it. And this is our core kind of launch team that you can see on the screen right there.
Yeah, I mean, there really aren't many other people involved in it at all. These are the people who you're working with. So let me tell you what we're going to cover in this session. By the end of the training,
you're going to know how we are able to fix the problem that is the soaring cost of traffic. If you've been involved online for any length of time, you've probably noticed that traffic is getting more and more expensive. Years and years and years ago, the Google crunch happened and everyone sort of started getting more and more expensive bills from Google AdWords, and the same thing is starting to happen with Facebook. And if you aren't experiencing it yourself right now, because you're newer to this, you'll be hearing other people talk about it. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll also be sharing with you a much faster way to get people to buy from you. One of the big problems that a lot of small businesses have is not usually the amount of money that's involved. It's usually the amount of cash they currently have and cash flow. Let's be honest. If you had all the money in the world, you could put lots of money into Facebook ads, for example, and then get a return on that investment. The truth is, you need to increase your return on investment and your cash flow as quickly as possible. So we're going to show you the simple way, a really, really simple way to really quickly get money out of your customers and out of your prospects much quicker.
And in the most ethical way it's physically possible to
totally.
do it.
Absolutely.
Finally, we're going to show you the third secret, which is the one thing you can do. You can just drop this into your business and instantly increase the lifetime value of every single customer. I'm sure that if you've got a business already, you've got tons of people on your list, customers, subscribers, who are hanging around there, and you think, actually, do you know what? The amount of money that I make per customer on my list isn't as high as it could be. It's not as high as those gurus that we've heard throwing numbers around. So we're going to give you a simple thing, drop it into your business, and it'll instantly get you better results.
Absolutely. So let's not faff around too much. Let's get straight into the first secret, which is how we are actually fixing that soaring cost of traffic. Truth is, traffic prices are going up. Why is that happening, Rob?
Well, it's happening because there's more and more people starting to advertise. Look, here's are some screenshots of some Facebook ads that we took earlier today. And the problem is, as more and more people are learning about Facebook ads, let's face it, there's a new Facebook ads training course being released every 6 minutes.
Yes.
That's a made-up number, but you get the idea. And so that's happening. But at the same time, Facebook are publicly saying that they are having to cramp down the amount of space they have available. So think about it for a moment. You've only got a certain amount of space in your newsfeed. They know that they can't flood people's news feeds with adverts because then there'd be no room left for what people use Facebook for. Because let's face it, people don't go on Facebook to look at your ads. They go on Facebook to look at pictures of their friends and their cats and their kids and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So they need to get the right balance between the amount of social posts they see and the amount of ads they see.
So that means there's less space in the feed and there's more people than ever trying to get into those spaces. So it's
supply demand. You have to push
demand.
The price of Facebook ads up. And that means you have to become better, more competitive at advertising.
You do. It's basically there's more fish in a smaller pond.
Absolutely.
That's what it is, isn't it? And it basically boils down to in order to master this, you either have to give up or stand out. And
more and more people are giving up. They're just saying, I can't afford to advertise on Facebook or Google or anything anymore. So they have to give up. And we don't want you to do that.
Right. So can we hear the story about your friend in the fitness niche?
Yeah, absolutely. So somebody that I've been working with is a guy called Brandon. This is a picture of Brandon right there. He's in the UK and he's in the fitness niche. And what happened was we helped him to create a great squeeze page and basically to start building a list with a great lead magnet, a great squeeze page, professional sales copy, all of that. And the problem was that running ads to it and highly optimized ads as well, it wasn't like we just threw them up there and hoped for the best. He couldn't get his cost per lead down to less than $9 a subscriber. So think about that for a moment. At $9 a subscriber, to get 100 subscribers on your list, that's a micro list, to get 100 subscribers on your list, it's going to cost you $900. That means
that's not buyers. That's just to get them on your list.
That's just to get their email address, yeah. Now, take into account some of those people are going to unsubscribe straight away. Some of those people are going to give you fake email info.
Yeah.
So let's say you even get 95 of those people onto your list actually working. It's cost you $900 to get them there. That's a problem. That means you've got to make $900 back just to break even, and get $900 out of 100 subscribers is pretty tough. So $9 a subscriber or more in some ad sets. And that's what he was getting, despite having a compelling lead magnet that was really well themed, a high converting squeeze page because we helped him build it, and professional sales copy written by a pro.
And the truth is, these are absolutely average results. This is not like, oh, woe is me, this is the worst case scenario. And this is not either, this is not also like a glorious result. This is distinctly average. This is happening like all the time.
Yeah, we're seeing people all the time who are doing this, creating lead magnets, putting them on squeeze pages, the stuff we've all done for years, and seeing anywhere between $3 and $4 a lead and $16, $17, $18, $19, $20 a lead. Yeah. And that's just horrendous.
So how can we change it?
So here's the interesting thing. BuzzSumo,
who are very smart folk.
Who are very smart. They've worked out that on average, 80% of people who see a survey or a quiz in their social feed will actually try it and take it. Now, just take this for a minute. We don't have to hide the fact from you. Tonight, we're talking about surveys and quizzes and stuff. We told you that on the registration page for the webinar. So BuzzSumo said that 80% of people who see a survey or a quiz in their social feed will fill it out and try it. Now, here's the interesting thing. That's not 80% of people who click onto the survey. No, that would be pretty high. This is 80% of people who see it in their social feed.
Actually complete it.
That's insane. That's 80% of people, not who click. An 80% conversion rate of people who click onto your page would be great. This is even better.
It's an absolute game changer. So by using surveys instead of the old-fashioned sort of opt-in things, here's an ebook or here's a download course, by using surveys instead, you can literally drop using lead magnets.
Hurrah!
I know. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, there's no having to think of what it's going to be, have it designed, have it created, all that long-term stuff. It's just create a survey. So no more lead magnet, no more squeeze page.
What?
I know, crazy, right? All you need to do is run a survey to make that happen. I know, absolutely crazy.
Glorious.
So now,
here's an example of what we can replace Brandon's lead magnet and squeeze page with a simple survey. We're going to talk a bit more about this, but you can see there's a screenshot of the world's simplest survey right there. It's got 4 questions. 2 of them are multiple choice. What's your name? Fairly easy. What's the best email address to get you on? Well, that's how you're going to build your list, isn't it? 3, what do you need help with right now? Simple question, 3 options. What's your monthly budget? And a little budget at the bottom. They fill out that. It takes them literally seconds. They hit submit and you're done. Great, right?
So you didn't create a single, not a single opt-in offer, nothing like that. They just filled out a survey. So let me ask you a question, all right, folks. Is an 80% completion rate higher than your regular opt-in rate that you're getting right now? Tell us in the Q&A box, is 80% a completion rate higher than the regular opt-in rate you're getting? 8
out of 10 people. I'm sorry to hammer it home. But that's 8 out of 10 people who see it in their social feed want to fill it in.
Yeah, that's higher than what you're getting right now, isn't it? Just reassure us that we haven't been getting terrible results all this time. This is ridiculous, isn't it? These results, yes? Okay, and this is just what BuzzSumo are saying. I'm not saying this happens every single time. This is what BuzzSumo said in that research.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So now I'm going to tell you the sneaky secret, or as we like to call it,
the sneakret. See what we did there?
See, that's very, very clever. The reason it works so well, and this is the how-to in the background, is because it's about relevance, and it's highly relevant because the survey is about them.
And this is cool because you might be thinking, well, I've created a lead magnet. That's much more valuable than asking people questions, because asking people questions isn't giving them anything. But it's allowing them to investigate themselves. That's really, really important. It's allowing them to find out what their situation is. It's allowing them to find out what you know about them or what you can tell them about them based on their answers, how they can move forward in their lives, their businesses, whatever it might be, because of their situation. This is what's become known as interactive content.
I mean, if content is king, then interactive content must be like the emperor of the universe.
The ruler of all.
Absolutely, right? So how does this work out? Well, It results in higher click-through. So people see it in their social feed. They want to click it because they want to take a survey.
Let's face it, one of the biggest things that Facebook looks for in its algorithm to help you get the best prices is relevancy. Relevancy. How relevant is your advert to them? What can be more relevant to them than asking them about themselves and giving them this opportunity?
And people love that. They're like,
Absolutely.
oh, I want to find out about me rather than your offer. Because your offer that you might be giving them might be irrelevant. They might not be wanting that thing right now. But if you're asking questions, it has to be relevant, which means you can get higher click-throughs, and you add to that higher conversions.
Which we know because
BuzzSumo said that's what's happening, and that's what we've experienced too. And that results in lower ad spend per subscriber. And you do all of that with no lead magnet. You didn't create a single lead magnet, and you didn't need to struggle with the latest glitchy sort of page builder or whatever, whatever you're trying to work. You didn't have to build a single landing page. So basically what we're saying is the way to do this is go and run a survey.
And then you'll get more leads, you'll spend less getting them, and people will think you're much cooler than just grabbing their email address in exchange for a crappy ebook.
All in one breath. I love it.
TM.
TM, there you go. It really is so easy. In fact, would you like to watch us actually build a totally new campaign from scratch? How does that sound? What we'll do is we'll do that live for you on this session at the end of this session.
That's right. We'll show you just how fast you can get a brand new survey campaign up and running and profitable from scratch.
All right, dead easy. Okay, let's move on to the second lesson. We've got 3 lessons. Here's number 2. What is it, Rob?
So now you know how to build your list faster. Let's talk about how to get those people buying from you even faster.
Okay, so there's 3 parts to getting people to buy from you, right? They are, to make sales, you actually need to make the right offer to the right people at the right time. Now,
makes sense, right?
Makes perfect sense. Now, getting the offer and the people are fairly easy because you can figure out what people want. The really difficult thing is the time, because how do you know what the person wants at this moment? Because you don't know where they are in their journey. You don't know what's currently a trend for them, what's a focus for them. The trend is really difficult.
Absolutely. And you've got to realize that if you're seeing, if you could get 1 million people a day seeing your offer on Facebook, those people are not all going to be wanting exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. So as we like to say in our office, the big slogan, the big motto is blanket marketing is dead. You can't talk to everybody out there in your marketplace. However niche you think you are, however niche you think your business is, all of those people are at different places wanting different things.
Let me give you an illustration. So here's a dude. He's standing there. He's maybe he's been in the business. Maybe he sells dog training or some kind of pet product. So let's say he's dog. I'm literally making this up. So he sells dog training. There he is. He's been doing it for maybe 10 years. All right, 10 years. Great. He's pretty happy. This is where he is right now. But of course, there is somebody else who is at the beginning of their dog training career. They don't even know what a mailing list is. They don't know how to build a mailing list of people who are interested in dog training. So if we go along there and we offer our guy, the guy in the middle, we say to him, oh, do you want to learn how to begin a dog training business? His mental response is, well, I'm sorry, but I've already passed that stage. I don't need that information anymore.
He's not interested in that lead magnet about that thing because, well, it's all the way back there in his past. He's past it.
He's past that thing. And then there's the other extreme, which is this guy who's like, hey, do you want to buy my $10 million dog training business off me so you can flip it and turn into a $100 million dog training business? So our guy in the middle, so he's not a beginner, but also he hasn't got $10 million. So neither of those offers are relevant to him whatsoever. And what we've got to realize is there are not just 3 stages of people's lives. There are loads of them. There are people at every single stage who are interested in very different things with different budgets in different timescales.
Just think about it. How many times has somebody tried to sell you a thing? How many times has somebody offered you something and you just thought, well, that's just not right for me right now. It's either too beginner, it's too advanced, it's too cheap, it's too expensive, whatever it might be. That's because you've fallen foul of this thing. They were offering the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time.
And that type of thing you can't guess, unfortunately. So how do you find that out? Well, here's the answer. What you do is you ask what we call a key question.
Ooh.
Okay, this will identify where the person is. That's all you need to do. So you can go away and literally take action and do this.
So we know that you're running a survey. Just make sure one of those questions at least is a key question. Now, there's a few different types of key question.
The first one is what we call an experience-based key question. That might be where they are on their journey, like we just illustrated with our little guy on the screen there. So is he a beginner? Is he sort of an intermediate person? Or is he quite an advanced person?
The second one is an interest-based key question. So what is it that you're interested in? Maybe you've got a clothes e-com store. Yeah, is somebody interested in hats? Are they interested in shoes? Are they interested in gloves? That kind of thing.
Yeah, or it could be budget-based. So how much have they got to spend right now on whatever it is you're selling? Have they got $100, $1,000, $10,000?
You'll see this a lot with high-ticket coaching applications. That's one of the questions they ask, and it's kind of important.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's the geographical ones. Are they local? Are they national? Are they international? So, for example, I run a high-level in-person mastermind, so I tend to only run a national campaign on that based on what I've been doing with it. I wouldn't run an international campaign.
There's nothing more valuable than knowing some core demographics. Maybe you have a business that sells differently from men to women, so that would fall under a different demographic altogether. So here's 4 of the key questions that you can begin to ask.
So that's just to give you some ideas. But then what do you do with it? This is where it gets exciting. This is where it gets really advanced.
So somebody's just filled out your survey. They've just filled out your survey where you've asked them a key question, whether it be, again, about experience, about their budget, about any of those things we've just talked about. And there are more, but those are 4 of the main ones. So what do you do right now?
As soon as they've completed that survey and they've answered the key question as one of those survey answers, you show them an offer for what they want right now.
No.
Yes, insanity, I know. So imagine they've just told you they're interested in hats, not gloves, not shoes. They're interested in hats. And when they hit yes, submit on the survey, you say, hey, I've got a sale on hats this week. There's 10% off if it's an e-com store. Or they've told you, I've got $1,000 to spend, and you take them to a page where you sell them your video training course for $997.
It just makes sense, right? No more have you got to send 1 million people into the same squeeze page for the same landing page, just hoping that some of them are going to work. Hope marketing, as Jeff Walker used to call it. Yeah. Just hoping that some of them are going to find the lead magnet appealing, and some of them are then going to find your sales offer, your tripwire, as it's become known, appealing. You don't have to do it anymore. Offer them what they want.
Exactly what they want. And now that blanket marketing thing has gone. But if you want to take it up to the next level, maybe you haven't got a whole bunch of different products. You've only got one program. All right.
Like a membership site or a high ticket thing, whatever it might be.
Right. So here's the next secret.
You can actually sell the one thing you do have from the angle that speaks best to that person. So you can actually position the sales copy in the sales letter or the sales video for your thing from the angle. You've all heard of copy angles, the angle from which you approach the sale from the thing that they've just said they're interested in. Pretty cool, right?
Let me give you an illustration. Right, Rob, you have a program called the Infopreneur Blueprint. You've been running it for years.
Yep.
I know you've recently rebranded it, but that's what it's basically called now. There are sort of 5 different angles you could sell that product from, because it includes details on traffic, product creation, list building, blogging, and affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
I've written some really crappy headlines just as a brief demonstration to share with everybody how this works. So if the person said they were interested in traffic as the thing that they need most help with right now in their business, so they fill in the survey and they say, oh, I really need help with traffic, the next page you show them straight after submission might start with a headline that says, master paid traffic generation to build your own online business. And that person's like, wow, that's exactly what I need.
Now, the thing that I would go on to sell over the course of that sales process is the same program. It's just the Infopreneur Blueprint, but the angle I lead in is from this traffic approach.
However, if the person check that they're actually needing some more support with actually creating products, we might have that next page. Again, it'll still be selling the Infopreneur Blueprint, but the angle we'll actually sell it from will be something like the 60-minute product creation method to build your online business. Makes sense. Or if it was for list building, again, we're still selling the Infopreneur Blueprint. It's all one product, but we're changing the angle, what we're highlighting, what we're sort of pulling up to the top. And that's going to be how to build your list and a profitable online business. There you go. If it was blogging, it might be how to build an online business by monetizing your blog.
Affiliate marketing, how to build your own online business without having to create a single product. And we lead in with that angle.
Exactly. So let's just see how it looks. So we would create a survey. You can see what you need most help with right now is that third question.
And this is just an example we knocked together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is just for your purposes to keep it simple. So let's, and depending on what they choose in that question number 3 there, we will send them to a different one of these pages. So they might send them to a traffic page, product creation page, list building page, blogging, or affiliate marketing page. So with different copy on each of those pages that highlights that thing. And the idea is that it sells them into that one product.
You all know the idea of a funnel. You have a thing that somebody fills out. You take them to a sales page. You take them to another sales page, another sales page. This is just streamlining the sales page so that you're getting the right thing in front of the right person at exactly the right time.
How many times have you been starting to write some copy and thought, oh, but my product does so many different things. I don't know which approach to highlight because, yeah, it does traffic, but it also helps them with list building. It also helps them with affiliate marketing. You don't need to think about that. You can write copy for each of those things, then get them to tell you what they need right now, and then they'll see the perfect copy which helps them most. Okay,
that's a good secret.
It is a good secret, I'll say.
So it's all about this: offer, people, time. If you get all of those three things aligned, there's no stopping you.
Absolutely. So shall we move on to the third one?
Yeah, I mean, we've just talked about a guaranteed increase in conversions, a guaranteed increase in revenue and profit, and you get to make more of the money back that you've just spent on traffic. So not only are you getting your subscribers cheaper, but you have to get an increase in revenue. So you have to make that money back. So this actually strengthens number one.
Number one, it multiplies it. Yeah, absolutely. So let's go on to, what's that?
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Yeah, number three. Okay, here's the one thing that you will be able to do that will increase your lifetime value every single customer. At the end of the day, every customer that you've got has already cost you money. You've already somehow invested in getting them there. So you may as well maximize how much they make for you. Large and successful businesses, corporations around the world. And in fact, if you read most business books, they'll tell you that the cheapest and easiest sales that you'll make for your business are the people who already love you.
And it makes sense, right? Because you've already got over the trust hurdle. You've already made them, they already know, like, and trust you, to use the cliche. Yeah. So they're more likely to buy from you. Just makes sense.
Absolutely. So there's 3 ways of doing this. The first one is to get them to stay on your list for longer.
Makes sense. If they unsubscribe, they'll stop buying from you. So there you go.
Exactly. The second one is to get them to stay active on your list for longer.
Yeah.
So the only thing worse than an unsubscriber is the person who stays on your list and just bogs you down.
They're just costing you money. They're making your stats look bad.
They make you feel sad.
Delivery bad. They make you feel sad.
But then also the other thing is to get them to buy more of your stuff more often. And the thing is, if they're not doing these things, so if they're leaving your list, if they're not being active, and if they're not buying your stuff, it's just because they feel neglected. And to make them actually re-engage with you and buy more of your stuff, it's actually really quite easy. All right? All you need to do is run a survey.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Right? And then ask them what they want to learn.
Now, hang on a minute. We just talked about this in secret number 2.
We did, but then want to put them onto a separate list in your autoresponder or email marketing platform based on the answers they give.
Well, that makes sense.
Right? Okay. And then it means you can only send emails to them about stuff that they're actually interested in. Did we mention that blanket marketing is actually dead?
So that means that not only do you show them the perfect offer at the perfect time as soon as they sign up, but going forward, all you're offering them is the stuff that you know they're interested in because they just told you about it.
Exactly. So let's give an example in the health niche, all right? Because I used to be in that space with my ex-girlfriend, which there are 3 things that people might want to do. They might want to, if you come to a health professional, they might want to lose weight. They might want to become a bodybuilder and like become massive, right? And then the third one is actually to regenerate your health. So maybe you've had an accident, or you've sort of neglected your own health for a while, like maybe myself. There are 3 different ways you're going to speak to these people.
Now, of course, there are others. Here's 3 of them. But let's think, if you're in the health niche, you might deal with all of these things and much, much more.
Absolutely. Loads of things. All right. So, for example, you wouldn't send a special report out that says 8 things you should eat before 9 a.m. to get huge unless you're speaking to people who want to become bodybuilders. Bodybuilders would see that and go, yeah, I want that.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you send that email out to everybody on your list, and you've got some people on there who want to lose weight, they're going to be offended. They're going to unsubscribe very quickly, and they're going to sort of be left with a bad sort of taste in their mouth. So it's great for bodybuilders, but that's a terrible message for weight loss.
Now, this is a really clean-cut, obvious example. Like, it just makes sense. But think about your list right now for the moment, or think about emails you receive from marketers that you're subscribed to, and think how often you get sent stuff that you're just not interested in for whatever reason. And again, it could be due to the amount of money it is, it could be due to the topic, it could be due to the location, it could be due to any of those key questions that we talked about before.
Yeah, and we've been doing this kind of stuff for years. You know, for decades, the smartest marketers in the world have been sending...
That's not us. That's the people way smarter than us.
Yeah, absolutely. They've all been sending blanket, generic, general emails and letters to people just hoping that they're relevant to them. And the truth is, you don't have to do that anymore.
No, absolutely. You can segment people on your lists to make sure you're only ever sending the right things to the right people at the right time.
And that will really help you stand out from your competition, everybody else in the marketplace, and keep people interested and engaged for longer and build yourself a long-term business. So would you like to see how you do all three of these things completely automatically? I think the answer is yes, and so did we. We would really love to see a way of doing it. So what we did is...
A
few years ago now, wasn't it? Yeah, quite a few. 4 years ago, initially.
Ago, yeah,
4 years ago, we searched, and we searched high, we searched low, we did online, we asked friends, and we tried to find a solution. And the only way we could find to do this was like this.
Step number one, you take your survey results, you build a survey in a survey platform, you take those survey results and export them as a .csv file.
Lovely, and they look gorgeous. And then you open that up in Excel,
which we all love to use. And then you take that and you reformat it so it actually makes sense to a human instead of a computer.
Yep. Then you have to sort the data out.
So put it in order. Break it up into separate lists.
And then you have to import it into your autoresponder, trying not to get your account closed down. Isn't that right, Rob?
Absolutely. I actually lost about somewhere like 7, 8, 9 Aweber accounts trying to import my subscribers. Now, I wasn't doing anything dodgy. I hadn't bought those lists. They were my subscribers. But Aweber it looks a little bit weird to your autoresponder if you're trying to import leads.
Yeah, and you have to do all of those steps every single day. Otherwise, your leads are starting to go cold, which renders the entire thing completely pointless.
You probably know within a day of somebody opting into your list, they've kind of forgotten who you are if you don't follow up with them properly. So if you're not doing this every single day and then mailing out to those people, then you are kind of missing the ball.
And truthfully, you know, we're all friends here. We're all realistic people with the best will in the world. You might think, well, I can do that every single day. And I thought I could do it every single day. But what happens is you have stuff in your family come up, you get sick, you go on holiday, you have a weekend off, you go away with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever. You can't do it every single day, and every day you don't do it. The thing is, after all of that manual labor...
And we know that isn't the reason that you got into this whole internet marketing thing in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you've got all that all that stuff going on. We found that there was no system to send people to the right offer based on their choices immediately after.
So the thing we've just described, that's certainly not an easy way, but it's our way that you can go ahead and you can get people onto different lists. But you can't do the thing where you send people to the right offer based on what they say in the survey.
Right. So we talked to a lot of our marketing friends, and literally nobody knew of any solution.
But the moment we brought it up, everybody wanted it.
Yeah, and we wanted one really, really bad. So what did we do?
We built one.
Which is bonkers. It really is crazy. So I don't mind sharing the numbers.
This is very conservative.
It is a bit conservative, but we didn't want to, be show-offs or anything. But we spent more than $100,000 of our own money that we raised through our own businesses of selling information online. And we hired a full-time developer in the UK. That's our Colin you saw in the photograph earlier on.
Now, one of the things that I want to say is obviously we're creating this platform and we're going to sell it, but we didn't create it to sell it. Lots of software in the internet marketing world, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Lots of software gets created because marketers want something to sell, and they know that software sells, so they make a thing because it will sell. We didn't make this to sell it. We're selling it because it's the only economical way for us to make it. Yeah. Like, we've made it. It's cost us this much money. We've used it. We love it. And now we're ready to open it up and let everyone else have a go too.
So would you like to see the quicker and the easier way to do this, that it's quicker than and easier than anything you've ever tried before. Would you like to see it? Let us know in the Q&A box. Would you like to see it? Because I think it's time we did a demo inside of ResponseSuite.
Let's do it. Let's give it the official unveiling ahead of anyone else seeing
Absolutely. So let's do that. So here I am inside of ResponseSuite. This is the dashboard. Let's not waste too much time talking about all the beautiful stuff that we've done to it, because we spent a lot of time making it really fun and interesting to use. Let's show you how to build a campaign. Which niche shall we go for? I think we've
already talked about it. Let's do fitness.
Let's do fitness. Okay. And also we have an autoresponder that we can hook up with that, so that will make perfect sense for people. So that's pretty good. Okay, good. So let's create a brand new survey. Couldn't be easier. I'm going to click the create button. You've got a few options here. You can create a survey from scratch. If you've already got a beautiful survey you like the layout of, but you want to just change the questions, you could duplicate your existing survey. And very, very soon, we'll be launching some fabulous templates that you can actually use inside of your inside here that you can use as a basis. So let's create one from scratch. So let's do a new fitness survey.
So this name right here, this is just for internal use. That's just so that you know what the survey was. So you can give it a little description. So you could say, and it's going to be running for as a lead magnet somewhere or whatever it is that you want to do.
How about that? Okay.
Perfect.
Click create. All right. Now, you'll notice this created very, very quickly. Just a quick heads up, we are obsessive about security. ResponseSuite is completely hosted on premium Amazon servers, which means Amazon take care of all the speed for us, but also everything that's put in there is encrypted by them. So even if somebody could get in somehow through Amazon, they can't read any of your data.
And all of our stuff here in the office is encrypted too. Not that we store any of it locally. But.
Exactly. So here we go. Let's make a survey. So let's give it a nice header up here. So do you want to put something fancy in there?
Yeah, so let's imagine that we're going to do, let's imagine it was me running this, so we'll call it me. We'll say this is Rob's fitness test. And so this is so that they can find out, let's say something like, take this quick test to find out what is holding you back in reaching your fitness goals. Now, of course, you can do better copywriting than this. We're just throwing this together to show you how it works.
Okie dokie. So the next thing we're going to do is put a little headline in here, and my headline's going to say, tell us about yourself. Answer the questions below so we can see how to help you best. All right, I'm going to left align that just because I think it'll look prettier. That's quite nice. We could change the color of this top bit if you like.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look. So I've clicked on it. Maybe a different blue. Maybe you don't. Oh, that purple's pretty snazzy, isn't it? Let's do, how about something like this?
Okay, cool.
Like that?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. If I want to change the text color, I could do that as well. I actually think it could, it looks quite nice in white. If you know your hex codes or anything like that for your brand, you can pop those in there as well. Really, really easy. So you can keep it on brand for yourself. Alrighty, we can turn that flare off or on. I quite like it on, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to save it as I go along because I'm a bit of a saving freak. I like to do that. So let's start building the survey. So let's collect some data about the people to begin with. So what was your first name? If you want to narrate any interesting features about this as we go along.
If you wanted to, there's a little helper message space underneath where you can put a little bit more clarification. So if you needed, if it was something formal, you can ask them for their full name or ask just for their first name, whatever you want to do. Then we'll pop an email field in if you wanted to do that.
I'm going to just ask for the last name as well because I'm going to do them separately because that's the way I like to roll.
Okay. We'll pop in another one, ask for their email address, because obviously this is a list building exercise. So asking for their email address is important. We've got a very special field here. It looks exactly the same as a text field, but it's actually looking for an email address. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to do with all three of those fields is you're going to want to make them required. So people have to fill them out. Or at least the email address anyway. Personally, I like to force people to give me their name, so that's up to you. But you just flick this little toggle switch over there on the left, and everything switches to answered. Now, you're probably also going to want to put that on sensitive data. So basically, just by ticking that little box, it actually obfuscates, that's a word.
I can't say that.
Obfuscate the data in our database. So whilst it's already encrypted, that would actually mean that if you had other users using your ResponseSuite account, like admin staff or whatever, they wouldn't be able to see that data in the reports.
It also means if you contact our support support staff for any help and assistance in your account, they won't be able to actually read that information either. So you're just protecting your
If
customers.
it's important or safe, sensitive, you can just flick that little toggle switch and bob's your uncle.
If you're familiar with GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulations that are coming in the UK and Europe, that is one of the pieces we put in place to help you to comply with that. It's just one of the pieces we put in place to help you comply with that. So what we're going to ask next,
Let's
maybe
get into the fitness.
like sleep or something.
So sleep's important, isn't it? The amount of sleep you get every night. So let's ask, how many hours sleep do you get each night? So that's going to be best as like a single choice, isn't it? So like just a radio button. So we drop a radio button in there. It's all drag and drop, and it's super fast. Like you're watching this live, so you can see how fast this is. So let's say like 0 to 5, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like
I'll add again.
6 to 8 hours, and then maybe 8 hours plus.
Obviously, all of this stuff that we're showing you is just how to build a survey. We're going to build this survey first, then show you the fancy features. So hang with us. And of course, remember, we're going to be giving away a free lifetime account of this very, very soon. So stick with us.
Absolutely. Incidentally, if at any point you made a mistake along the way, there's an undo and redo button. This was a headache to do, but we can actually undo all the way back to the last save that you made and then redo all the way forward again. So this is really quite powerful. Just, it's awful when you're building a page or something and you delete something and then you can't get it back.
Yeah. Maybe about something to do with going to the gym. How often do you go to the gym? Each week?
Yeah. So like once. So again, it's going to be like a single choice question, isn't it? Like there can only be one answer. So
in that case, I'm going to make this one look fancier. I'm going to make this horizontal.
Go for it.
There you go. That looks fancy now.
And everything's drag and drop. You can see those little blue handles on the right-hand side of everything, of both the answers and the questions. So if you want to just rearrange stuff, you can do that. When you rearrange it, the numbers look a bit weird till you hit the save, and then they all fix. So there we go. How often do you go to the gym each week? So like once.
I don't.
Oh yeah, not at all. That's us.
Yeah.
Once. Twice.
I'm doing it in words. I don't know why.
3 times. More than 3 times. 4 plus.
Just to mess things.
There you go.
Oh.
Now, next one. So like, what's holding them back? So what's the big thing that they find out that's getting in their way?
What did I do wrong here? I did something wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. It hates me. Let's try that. There we go.
Smashing.
Right. Cool. Sorry, what were you saying about?
So, like, what's the big thing holding them back? So, why do they feel like? Where do they feel weakest? So, what do they want help with? Is the question. What do you want? What do you feel that you need the most support with?
It's about right now. It's about a timing thing, isn't it? So I always put right now.
Absolutely. It's actually a psychologically really important little addition to the end of your question there. So again, we want to give them a choice here. It could be multiple choice, but we'll just give them one because we want to find out the one thing.
Is mindset one word or two?
One word, I mean. One word. Mindset, let's say like knowing what to eat, so like nutritional stuff. Mm-hmm. Knowing how to do exercise, because that's terrifying, isn't it, if you don't know. Maybe they're too busy. You could do confidence. That's probably the same thing, really, isn't it? We'll go for that. There we go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. So that'll do us. That's a basic survey that you could send people to, and the idea of it is that they fill it out and they get to know more about themselves. You'll be able to follow up with them in the right way, etc. So that's it. We built a nice little survey there.
Okay. So you can build surveys in lots of different platforms. That's not why we created ResponseSuite.
Correct.
The reason we created ResponseSuite, both of those reasons are on this screen, which is the settings screen. The first thing we're going to do is, shall we talk about redirection first?
Well, let's talk about it in the order we did it. So we've created a survey, so that's better than a lead magnet. We've already proven that.
Right.
Now let's talk about how you make sure that you show those people the right offer at the right time. So we know you can get cheaper leads by running a survey. Now let's show you how you make the money back from them faster.
All right. So once somebody has completed a survey, they've answered all the questions, they hit the submit button. That's what happens next is called the redirection. What happens at that point? Most of you already know that. You've got 4 options in ResponseSuite. One of them is to stay on the current page, which is basically do nothing. The second one is just to show a standard sort of thank you message on a new page. The next one is send them to your own URL, which is the thing you wanted to do originally.
The reason this came about was I just wanted to be able to send people to my own URL from a survey platform, but the existing survey platforms were just too expensive if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, they were like 800.
It was like £800 a year for the market leader at the time.
Yeah. So, but then we invented this cool thing, which is where we're going to get into it. So if I drop this question, this question sort of field here gives me a drop down of all the questions which have a single choice answer, where there's only one possible choice they can make. Okay, so they get to choose.
So those questions were: how many hours sleep do you get each night? If you remember, there were like 3 or 4 answers they could choose from.
3.
How often do you go to the gym each week? Again, there are a number of answers. And what do you want help with right now? All 3 of these things are key questions. Remember we talked about that before? So you have to decide which of those is important to you as a key question. How do you want to redirect people? So for us, this would be these answers here. We want to sell them something from the angle of mindset, nutrition, exercise, being too busy, or having confidence in the gym. Or maybe you've got 5 separate products and you want to sell them the perfect one at the right time. So let's imagine our website, which doesn't exist, was myfitnesssite.com. Very creative, especially like the triple S in the middle. We could send people to myfitnesssite.com/mindset if that's where we sold them the thing about mindset. So you've got a page for that.
So as soon as they've filled in all the questions, they've chosen mindset in that particular question as their answer, and they hit submit, they go to that website which sells them the mindset product.
You're always going to put the right offer in front of the right person at the right time. Let's say you do exactly the same thing. You've got another page, myfitnesssite.com/nutrition. You send those people there. myfitnesssite.com/exercise. I think you're probably ahead of us now. myfitnesssite.com/busy or time, and myfitnesssite/ I guess confidence.
Sure.
So you've got 5 different products that cover 5 different things, or you've got one product that you can approach from 5 different sales copy angles. You can do this, and whichever one people select, they'll be taken to that page
At the perfect time they're looking for it.
right there.
That solves it automatically. You didn't have to do anything.
No.
It just happened for you. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
And it's quicker so far than building a lead magnet, creating, all of the rest of it.
Doing this bit's quicker and running the campaigns quicker.
Absolutely.
Because you didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
it's done. But that's not it, because then the next thing we talked about was segmenting them on your lists. So that you only send the relevant targeted email messages to them. So let's do that, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at the integrations. Right now, as a platform, we integrate completely by the API with 3 platforms: Aweber, GetResponse, and MailChimp, because they're 3 of the most popular ones. But we do have a catch-all, which is that custom HTML form there. We'll talk more about that in a little while, and we are rolling out a lot more integrations going forward. Again,
I'll be honest with you, I don't use any of the 3 that we integrate with APIs. I use Infusionsoft.
So do I.
So what I do when I use ResponseSuite is I grab the Infusionsoft form code, and then I just paste it into here, and it works beautifully. I mean, it's just perfect.
Okay? Absolutely.
All right. So let's go back to the MailChimp one we talked about.
So we had that question before, didn't we, where we're asking people what their problem is, what's holding them back. And there were a bunch of answers. So we've got a mailing list in MailChimp for each of those answers. There's nutrition, there's time, there's mindset, there's exercise, and there's confidence. There we go. So we got 5 different lists in MailChimp that we made in our MailChimp account. We've got 5 different answers to that question, and now we can go ahead and hook these things up. So the first thing you want to do is pair up the global fields. In this case, we're asking for email address. Email address is, of course, on every single list, so we'll pair that up. So we're just telling it that in the email address in ResponseSuite is that field, and they should put that into the email address over there inside of
Nothing. I'm just making sure the microphone's working.
it is.
Okay, good.
So you can pair up the email address like that. Next one is to go ahead and pair up first name and last name. Now in MailChimp, that's in each individual list, so we can just quickly nip through and do those. So you can see there, this has loaded the list for nutrition, the list for time, the list for mindset, the list for exercise, and the list for confidence. So we're just going to pair up these fields. In some autoresponders like Aweber, you've only got to do it once because it's a global field. In MailChimp, it's not. So we'll do that. Now, if you had other questions like, country, phone number, whatever else, you can obviously match up as many fields as you want to. In our case, we're just going to do first name and last name.
So that basically means that's just telling it when they fill in the survey on ResponseSuite, where does it put those responses in your autoresponder?
Yeah.
That's all it's telling it, right?
Absolutely. So now we have to decide what is going to make it put them on each of those lists. And you can see there's a drop-down box over on the right-hand side. You've got 2 options that are there by standard, always on and always off. In other words, never put them on this list or always put them on this list. So if you've got some multiple lists and you always want them to go on those lists, you can do that. At the same time, if you want it to be triggered by an answer to a question, you can do that there too. You can see there we've got question 4, 5, and 6. Those were the only questions where we had a single choice answer. Or a multiple choice answer works too. And so that's what we've got. So there's our question. What do you want help with right now? We're now going to pair them up. So if they choose nutrition in answer to that question, pop them on the nutrition list. If they choose time, pop them on the time list. If they choose mindset, pop them on the mindset list. And of course, this is a very obvious example, just so you can see how it works. If they say exercise, pop them on the exercise list. And if they say confidence, put them on the self-confidence list. And this works with any key question that you can use to divide up your data. Now, of course, it's possible. We used a single choice question. If you had a multiple choice question, it might be, which of the following are you interested in? And you might have 3 or 4 different answers. They might want to choose 2, 3, 4, 1 of those answers. You can put them on 1, 2, 3, or 4 of those lists. Pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So they are the 2 major features that are going to make a massive difference and allow you to do all the things that we talked about that you can see are massively important to all of us. You can do them automatically. Now, these are not marketing things, but you need to, I'm going to just quickly show you the report builder as well. So let's say you've just run a report, because at the end of the day, despite all of the marketing stuff that's going to really help you with your business, you can also just run surveys.
Absolutely.
Right?
Maybe you just want to run a quick survey, find out what time is it best for your customers to run a webinar. What you can do all that kind of stuff too.
So
what we found with most survey platforms was their reporting was really super limited. We've kind of lived in the world of surveys for the last 4 years, so we've done tons of research and tried everything. And the problem with that is that they just give you the reports they think you want. So we thought, let's allow you to make the reports you actually want.
Yeah.
So we put all the time and effort into building this lovely builder. So we thought, well, let's use it for charts and graphs too. So one thing that you've got in both the survey builder, which we didn't show you, and in this one is this section break here. The section break, it's that almost invisible line that runs underneath the header there. You can drop one of those wherever you want it to go. And then you can choose to have stuff in single column, 2 columns, or 3 columns. You can make a bit more of an interesting layout here.
So I'm going to just drag a couple of charts in so you can see you can make it look really, really nice quite easily.
Now, in this particular account, we don't have any. This is just an example account. You can see in the subdomain there. So we don't actually have any surveys that have been filled out. But if we did, you could click on the chart there. You can choose a question, and that would populate that chart with the answers. So it's just sample data right now because there is no answers to choose from, but that's what it would do. Again, there's line charts, area charts, bar charts, column charts, etc., etc.
And the great thing, if you want to show people what the results of your survey are, is we've made it exactly the same as the builder for the surveys in that...
Which we haven't shown you yet. We'll do that in a minute.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, you can share it. So you can just grab this and say, here's what the results are of the survey. Of course, they're blank right now because we
have no results.
Yeah, right. Let's go back in the survey builder and show them the sharing.
Yeah.
Shall we do that? So that's the reports thing. You can build gorgeous reports, as you can see. It's not really a marketing feature, but it's possible.
So let's take a look at the survey we just built. There's the builder. We'll just skip forward through the settings, which we set before. You can actually set the page title as well if you want to go back to the settings one. Yeah. Set the page title to be fitness survey. So it's a little bit fitness quiz or whatever. So it's a bit nicer than the standard title that you gave it before. There we go. Save. Next, now we need to turn it on. At the moment, it's turned off in here. There we go. So you can see there's a normal URL there, which would be your subdomain. Oh, this is a cool thing. One of the things we were really precious about is to make sure that you actually get your own subdomain on our server. So it means that you would have your username.responsesuite.com. So if if you're called Joe and you sell fish, you're joesfish.responsesuite.com or expert whatever.responsesuite.com. So that's pretty cool. Now at the moment, that's got an algorithmically generated. I've always wanted to say that. An algorithmically generated ID. It's a random ID that's generated, not random, algorithmically, using our amazing system that Colin understands, but we don't. And basically, it makes it very secure. But if you wanted to give it a more friendly URL so people would know what it was, you can type it in there. So let's call it fitness quiz or whatever.
Sure.
And then when you go ahead and hit the big green save button, that now allows you to go to example.responsesuite.com/q/fitness quiz. There you go. And there, the quiz is all nicely rendered and it goes and it works. You could go ahead and fill that out. You could choose the right options and it would take you to the right place. So there's Joe Fish. The email address is joefish at something, responsesuite.com. Not a real person, I should add. How many hours sleep does he get?
We get the idea. You can fill out the survey.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you'd be taken to the right page based on what you said. Not that those pages exist.
Right. Yeah, cool. So that's the demo. What do you guys think? I mean, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? So I think we can go back in the main presentation and, well, let's see.
Fire it up. So here's the big moment, the big question.
The big giveaway.
Absolutely.
So to win a lifetime account of ResponseSuite, we want you to tell us what is missing. What is the third element of this diagram? You've got to write it into the Q&A right now. You've got to send the perfect offer to the perfect people at the perfect what?
We've even given you a letter.
Yeah, I'm giving you a letter until
You've got to get the other three.
You've got to get the other three.
So go ahead. In fact, let's pop out of here for a second just so we can get the Q&A box. We can drag it over here probably. The Q&A.
Yeah, I want to just drag this over and do that.
There we go. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Hello.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. Right, we're going to have to write down a lot of names.
Yeah, I'll start doing that.
You start doing that. Okay.
Excellent. So
that pen doesn't work.
give me a different one. Okay, cool. Right. So you keep talking and I'll fill these out. So
all right, you fill them out.
We're going to be here for a little while.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. While you're doing that...
listen, look, we can't keep up with this. Maybe we should just flick this up and down randomly and I'll shove my finger on the screen and wherever it lands.
Is everybody happy for us to do that?
I'll close my eyes and we'll just
do it at random.
For real. There's a few people entering more than once.
Sounds like
that's
a plan.
Cheating.
That is cheating.
Okay, so we're gonna the fair way. We'll just flick it up and down. I'll randomly stop it, but we'll give them another like 60 seconds or so just to get your answer in.
In fact, while you're doing that, let me while you're writing those in, let me tell you about what the value of what you're actually getting here.
Go for it.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that. So basically, ResponseSuite actually goes on sale at 9 a.m. EST. That's 2 p.m. UK on Wednesday. That's sort of today now for us, tomorrow for most people.
Yeah.
So on Wednesday.
Yesterday if you're in Australia.
Yeah. So it goes on sale at 9 a.m. EST on Wednesday this week and at 2 p.m. On Wednesday this week for us. What do you get included? This is what you're getting, right? You're getting 20 active surveys. You can have as many surveys in response. You can build as many servers as you like in ResponseSuite. We don't limit that. But you can have 20 active ones. And we don't think you'll need many more than that ever.
Now, of course, the whole software is fully hosted on our servers at Amazon. It's completely cloud hosted. There's nothing to install.
Nothing to download. Nothing.
Straight into it. You don't have to host anything. It's all there for you.
Literally, you get username and password, you're in, just the way I was before. You get unlimited report building. You can build as many of those beautiful reports as you like. You get 30,000 submissions per month, which means you can build your list by 30,000 people per month. For this, right? And you get your own user account.
Now, we're also going to give you a survey marketing masterclass because the truth is we've been on here for about an hour and we've told you a ton of stuff, but that's only a fraction of what's possible with survey marketing. We would need a lot more time to share everything with you. So that's why what we're doing is we're running a 4-week live webinar training. It's called the Survey Marketing Masterclass. Normally, if we run these kind of webinar type trainings, it's normally like $500, $1,000. We're doing one of these webinar trainings, 4 weeks, all about surveys. And basically, we found 22 different places that you can put a survey in your business. We're going to teach you a ton of them in the 4-week training.
Yeah, that's a 4-week training. It's not just a one-off thing. It's going to take us 4 weeks to really get this ingrained in your business and making a massive difference.
So the software is powerful, but it's even more powerful when you use it with this stuff.
Absolutely.
We're also going to give you the ResponseSuite Facebook user group. So we've created a special Facebook community. It's obviously brand new, where we're allowing all of our ResponseSuite users to hang out, communicate, make friends, strike up partnerships, and get advice with us and other people, and really all grow our businesses together. Because you know that whole thing about you are the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So we want to give you hundreds of people you can spend the right time with.
Absolutely. So the big question is, how much is this thing? Obviously, we've invested more than $100,000 in this thing. From June, this will be on sale for $599 per year as an annual thing.
That's right. And that's so that's how much it'll be. Then the Survey Marketing Masterclass is $497. I mean, we could easily charge $997 for that, but that's what it is.
So that's a total of $1,096
plus $599 every year thereon.
Yeah, absolutely. So how much is it going to be?
Well, when it goes on sale today, tomorrow, whatever that is for you right now.
The proper sale price this week.
The proper sale price this week is $297 forever. Forever. That's not a year. That's forever.
Okay.
But right now on this webinar, you can get it forever for just one payment of $197. That's unlimited surveys with 20 active. That's unlimited reporting. That's 30,000 submissions a month. That's up to 30,000 people you can have joining your list every month through these surveys. And
you can do all the things we talked about. Everything that you could do manually, you can do automatically without anybody slipping through the gaps.
Absolutely.
Now, the only person who does not need to do this, so Rob, I'm going to flick up and down the side the Q&A.
I'm going to randomly shove this on my here. Stop. There we go.
That's not one of the answers. Do it again.
Let's try again. That was somebody saying a random comment. This one.
Okay. Who's that?
That's Avi, if that's pronounced right.
Avi?
A-V-I. Avi, I think that's how it's pronounced. I'll be over here somewhere.
Yeah.
Participants. So let's hover over Avi and find out who he is.
Let's have a little
There's
look.
his email address. So I'm going to go ahead and write Avi down.
Give me. Yeah, Avi. Okay, no problem. Avi, all you need to do to claim it is just drop us an email. Is that right?
Avi, if you send an email, I'm going to make a note of your email address anyway so that people can't pretend to be Avi, so nobody bother trying. Avi, if you send me an email to support@responsesuite.com, support@responsesuite.com, and we'll get that set up for you tomorrow. Because it's very late here now, once we get back into the office. Just hover back over there.
Sorry.
Oh, that's changed.
That's true. You got more than one Avi?
No, it's hover. I think it just go back over. Hover over there. There we go.
Got it?
Yeah. So I've made a note of that, and I'll watch out for an email from it if it's from your Gmail address.
Okay.
Super.
Cool.
So congratulations, Avi. You have got your access to ResponseSuite.
Everybody else, don't worry, you're not locked out. You can lock in that deal for just $197 for life. That includes every upgrade. We're a long-term business. We only have this business now going forward. If you go to ResponseSuiteDeal.com, that's the only place you can get it for life for $197. You can lock that in right now. And like I said, that is unlimited upgrades for life, okay? And that comes with, the whole thing comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Literally, it's what we call our more leads, cheaper, less work guarantee. If you don't absolutely love it, just let us know and we'll just refund every penny back of that small investment.
Absolutely. And we know people want this because we saw how many people are entering this competition.
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So head over to ResponseSuiteDeal.com and you'll be able to grab this. And we're going to throw in some very special bonuses. Remember, you get the Survey Marketing Masterclass, which should really be $500. You get that for free. You get our lifetime access to the ResponseSuite group thrown in as well.
Yeah.
That is all yours just for grabbing your place today. And you get to save the extra $100 off the proper launch price that it's going to be this week, and hundreds, well, technically thousands of dollars over the lifetime of having the account.
It really is. From June, you'll see this go into a monthly and annual SaaS platform. So
absolutely. I've just checked the link works. It's all good.
It's all good.
ResponseSuiteDeal.com. You'll be able to sign up today. Again, in the last hour, we've really only been able to scratch the surface of what's possible here. We're going to share the rest of it with you inside the Survey Marketing Masterclass.
And the great news is, as you've been able to see from the way we pulled these surveys together, we've done a lot of the hard work and a lot of the thinking, because Rob and I are not technical people. So we've built it so that we could build surveys and had our technical person figure out ways of making it easy for the likes of us just to run surveys. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to have to become a survey expert. You want to you don't have to do any thinking. You don't have to do any creating. You want to just do the doing and take action, don't you? Okay, so I think we can chill out now with you guys and hang out while you grab a hold of it, your deal right now. But we're happy to take any questions. We're really happy to do that. We can hang out with you for a while now. I was a little tired before we started this, but now
I'm kind of feeling energized.
I'm like, this is just, I'm so excited to share
this
with
people.
time,
and that means you can do two things. You can ask us questions about what we've been teaching you about tonight. That's a bit weird. That shouldn't be a thing. I think we're good.
Are we?
I think we're still good. Yeah. Can everyone still hear us? Give us a shout in the thing. Also, as Dennis is in, he's just posted his transaction ID. That's good. Just let us know that you can actually still hear us. Yes, Kate says she can still hear. It's all good.
Cool.
Let's plow ahead. Just click log in there. That'll keep going. It's fine. Yeah, we thought we'd been logged out for a second there. Don't worry about it. We're all back in. Yeah, look, this is still running. It's still active over here. Yep, loud and clear. Mike says loud and clear. That's good. Excellent. Well, Dennis, I just saw you posted your stuff in there. Avi sent the email. We'll get back to you tomorrow, so that's pretty cool. Excellent. So yeah, as I was saying, panic then. You can ask us a couple of questions. You can ask us questions about stuff, the content that we've shared, or you can ask us about the... no, I think it's fine. That would sit like that anyway. You can ask us questions about what we've shared, or you can ask us software too. Avi says, that's a good question. Yeah. So Avi said, are there any upsells? There are upsells. We're going to be quite upfront about it at the end of the day. So we've given you everything that we possibly can inside ResponseSuite, but there is one up if you go ahead and buy it. The upsell, the one-time offer, whatever it, a program called Elevate. So Elevate is a couple of things. First of all, it is 8 weeks of extra additional webinar training. So there is 4 weeks of training about how to do Facebook into your survey. So it's Facebook ads specifically with the idea of running surveys. So I'm going to be leading that. And then there's also 4 weeks of training about what to do with those people once they're survey. So we've got Elevate Traffic, which is the bit I'm running. It's 4 weeks of webinars on Facebook ads for that. And then there's 4 weeks of webinars about how to do driven email marketing and clever campaigning of emails.
For conversion. So basically you're able to attract the traffic, get it to convert on the opt-in page, and then how do you turn those brand new opt-ins into actual customers? Shall we welcome people?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. We got here. We've got the first sale. Let's have a look. We got the first sale from, I can't say because a lot of them have got business names rather than actual names.
Okay.
So let's take one here from somebody with the name Metaphor in the brand. Somebody from NG, welcome to you. Mutual Advantage, welcome to you. Mark on board. Hey, Mark, have you with us? We've got... so that's the other thing. Is included in your... when you buy Elevate, the other thing that you get as part of this is that you get upgraded ResponseSuite Unlimited. So basically what that means is that instead of having that 20 active surveys limited, you can have unlimited surveys. And you also have unlimited responses every month and all of that. Lewis says, fantastic webinar, great software. Nice to see it live in action. Can't believe how cheap this deal is though. I regret not buying this while it's so cheap. Yeah, and we hope so. We really hope that people get in on the ground level. And then get going. Dennis said, okay, cool, Dennis, if you fire us an email to support@responsesuite.com, we'll be able to get started. So just, fire an email to support@responsesuite.com. It'll open a support ticket and we'll get back to you as fast as we possibly can on that. Obviously, we are a small team. We are here and we know that software does sometimes have problems. So if anything happens, just send an email. We'll happily work with you. We're
absolutely obsessed with customers. So if you have any problems, it's like, I don't really want to complain about it. No, just let us know. We want to build this to be the best plan that you can possibly use in your business. Can we post surveys on your blog, on Facebook, anywhere? Yeah, you can link to this anywhere. Absolutely. And we're going to be adding the ability to embed the surveys right inside of your blog as well. That's coming up in the next few days, but don't quote me on that. So it's definitely going to be there. Use that too.
Yeah, so at the moment you can literally just get that URL, put it wherever you can post your. That's really cool. That's Mark, who was here, who was chatting.
From Doncaster, absolutely. He says, lifetime deal looks great. I have kicked myself in the past for not taking up other lifetime deals. This is a bleeping awesome deal. FAA, of course I bought it. Well done, guys and girl. Says Kevin, welcome on board.
Yeah, Mike. So the embed code feature coming soon. One of the things we've got is a really fast rollout plan for a bunch of new features too.
The reason we've held back on the embed thing is because our developers come up with a clever way that I don't understand of doing the embedding on your own. That's not the usual boring old iframe thing. That's a bit old-fashioned, whereas we like to go with future. So we've got a really smart way of doing that, but we're not. We're basically testing the living rather than releasing a buggy version to you. So as soon as we're happy with that, okay. Mike, graphics coming soon. What do you mean, my man? Let me know what you mean by that.
Actually, what you can do right now when you get logged in is you can upload a profile picture of yourself. Now, it doesn't help the people filling out your surveys, but it is great for inside your. And the reason for that is we've built an amazing media engine. So the ability to upload your images and stuff into ResponseSuite. What we're doing right now is making the technology even better so that you'll be able to add those images into your surveys. So
you'll be able to use images in your surveys in really innovative ways. I'm so sorry yet to say this to you guys. I'm not allowed to actually talk about how we're going to do this until they're live. I mean, I'm sure you can understand why. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So anyway, welcome as well. Excellent stuff.
Good stuff. This is good. We're loving seeing these people come in. We're giving our baby away for the very time, and this is so exciting. I know.
But you know what I'm more excited for? Because I can't wait to see the results that you're getting from using it, because it's going to save you so much, and you're going to cut through so much of that noise of just the usual opt-in stuff that's going on. So absolutely. So welcome aboard. If you've got any, throw them our way. Love to answer them in every way that we possibly can. We'll be absolute with you. If something's not our bag, we'll just tell you, and we'd rather you be absolutely delighted and make sure this is absolutely for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to try and welcome people as they come through. There's a bit of a delay with JVZoo and actually detailing who's buying. We'll try and get to you as fast as we can. So again, yeah, keep those questions coming in. We're happy to answer whatever you might have and really help you out on this.
Any questions?
Thanks, Kevin. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's very true.
It's very funny.
I've just realized, is that Mr. Polly? It must be.
I also like to welcome Steve, brand new customer as well. Welcome to ResponseSuite, Steve. And who's that? Can't see their name. Mike, welcome on board as well.
Good to have you with us. This is excellent.
Is joining the Facebook group now. Good. We'll get you approved.
We'll get you ASAP.
Mm-hmm. The team are back in the UK, here in the UK at 8:30 in the morning. So any might have, we'll get straight on them. Should you have any issues, we don't envisage you have, because we test the living heck out of this. Excellent presentation of a product that will increase the ROI of each company that acquires it. Excited and looking at it. Thank you, Robin Kennedy, for giving this webinar. Welcome, Avi.
Super welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Avi, I can't wait to see what you do. Right, you got it for free. Don't let that lose the value for you. Please, dude, use this thing.
Absolutely. Good stuff. So we'll stay for another 5-10 minutes.
Sure.
Just answering any questions.
Any questions you might have at all, surveys or about ResponseSuite in particular. More than happy to share our know. Been obviously ingrained in this for such a long time now.
One of the cool things about this is, tonight we've told you a way to use it, but actually, if you already have, let's imagine you've already a business and you've already sold a ton of stuff. You've got a batch of customers, and you're always wondering, what do I do next? One of the great things you can do with this is run it who are already in your business. So you could actually take it, as well as using it as lead gen, you can run it with all the people who are all business and get them pushed through. That's really cool. But then the other thing, to take this even further, is that you can actually put it into your business right now. So send it out to the people who've already got, or you can put it in a week after. So a product that's got affiliates driving traffic into your product and you're selling it all day, and that's your gen taken care of. You've got people buying your stuff. You can take that and you can run a week after they've joined, or a day after they've joined, or 3 minutes after they've joined, and then you can put those people on the right list, send right upsell offer, etc., etc., etc. And that's really powerful too.
Shall we tell everybody the ninja thing that you're doing with the high ticket coaching program and how you're using ResponseSuite as an application form?
Yeah, go for it. So if you're a high ticket coach or consultant or a service provider,
or you want to do that
stuff, you probably know the model, right? You take cold traffic, you drive it into a process, you take that process and Avi, yes, you can. We'll talk about that in a minute. You can take those people, you drive cold traffic into some sort of education sequence, whether that be a webinar like this or whether that be a video sequence. Those people then go ahead and apply. to work with you on a higher level or to get your service, whatever that might be. And then what happens is you follow up with those people. Now, the standard way of doing that is to use a form, and then you have to have some poor bloke or lady has to sort all of that data in Excel into a CSV file, like we said, then find the people who apply, who qualify, like they've got the right amount of money and they're in the right stage of the process, and then make sure that those people get followed up with correctly. Now, let's imagine this for a second. Let's imagine that instead of doing that, you just delete whatever you're using or whatever you were thinking of using, and you use a ResponseSuite survey instead. So somebody comes in, they go through your education sequence, they apply to be coached by you or to use your high ticket service, and they fill it out. You ask them questions like, how much can you afford? You ask them questions like, what stage of the process are you in? What stage of your journey are you in? That kind of thing. And then what happens is your system automatically puts them into a follow-up sequence that's relevant. So if you've got an $8,000 coaching program and somebody says they've only got $500 to spend, well, the chances are it's going to be a hard sell to get them into an $8,000 coaching program. And if they really don't have the money, you shouldn't be selling it to them. So the next thing that you can do is take those people and put them into maybe a lower ticket thing where you sell them something for $100 or $200 or $500. If somebody says they've got $25,000 to spend, well, you can sell them the highest level mastermind you've got if it's the right fit for them. You know it's the right fit for them because you've asked them lots of questions.
And let's imagine you don't have a high-end mastermind right now, and you only have an $8,000 coaching program. Mm-hmm. If you get enough people segmenting on your list who say they want to pay $25,000 a year, suddenly you've got the demand and the exact list of people who want to go for it. And you can now mail them and say, hey, do you want to do this thing? They say yes. You just created another product based on the demand and what the market is telling you they want.
The other really nice thing about doing it this way is that when somebody fills out the application form, you obviously send them then through a sequence, through a process. You can put them into, if you use a standard form type software, what happens is somebody fills it out and they just sit there in a CSV file and wait until somebody gets in touch with them. What you could actually have, though, is you could have a 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 6 month, 12 month, whatever, email follow-up sequence that sends them emails over and over and over again and will continue to send them emails till they get taken out of that sequence. Right. So what that means is the moment they buy, somebody puts them on the customer list. Obviously, they usually buy over the phone. Somebody pops them on the customer list, happy days, that takes them out of that sequence. But what it means is that that's all they're put into that sequence on complete autopilot thanks to the magic of ResponseSuite segmentation. Absolutely. So that's really powerful. Is it possible to change our subdomain, or are we limited to the company name we enter during the setup? No, you can change the subdomain. Obviously, if you change it once you've got some surveys out there, then those surveys won't work anymore. But yeah, if you ever want to change it, you can just get in touch with us. Kevin said, did you say that all of the user input is secure so you can ask special questions like an existing username and password and the info will not leak? So all of our data is encrypted by default, thanks to the magic of Amazon.
But the question is, should you be asking, because whether you should be asking for people's passwords for something or not is your own data issue, because you will be able to see that information. You can open up your data inside of ResponseSuite. You can download the CSV, and you will be able to see the password field, for example. So you would be able to, even if you click the secure button and you switch it into a secure field inside of ResponseSuite, you as the user will be able to see that password. Only our staff and other staff in your organization will not be able to.
So if you were to add, buy an upgrade and get multiple users, for example, and you gave a user to an admin member, they wouldn't be able to see it because it was your account that created it.
Yeah, but in terms of in terms of asking for passwords, I personally probably wouldn't do it because it is displayable by somebody, i.e. you. None of that information is accessible. Now, when we talk about encrypting our data, as soon as the data hits our server, it's encrypted there. But of course, then our system has to use a clever encryption algorithm, as far as I understand, to then display the data to you so you can run reports on it and do stuff with it. So, and it's all passed along an SSL, HTTPS URL. So it's passed to the server and to the database in a secure fashion as well. And there's this one.
Yeah, so Avi says, can we use this with more than one autoresponder account from the same company, like 2 MailChimp accounts? No, it just becomes technically really complicated and it's hard to interface because you have to give those MailChimp account names. That it would just become a bit weird. So it's easiest. So no, we have locked it down to one MailChimp account or one Aweber account or one GetResponse account. So yeah.
Any more questions, anybody? We're here for you.
We'll hang around for another 5 minutes or so and answer whatever questions you have. And again, it doesn't have to be about survey marketing. It could be about the software. It doesn't have to be about the software. It could be about survey marketing and all the benefits of it. Let's imagine that you had, say, a membership site and you've got people who are leaving your membership site, as happens. If you've got a continuity program with people paying monthly, that happens. And so basically what you can do is you can have it so that if somebody says they get in touch and they say, hey, we'd like to cancel our membership to your thing. And it happens, of course. So what you can do is you can reply. And what most people do is say, oh, well, I'm really sorry to hear that. I'll cancel your membership. You will be billed again, which is great. But we say what you should actually do is send them. It's actually doing the customer a disservice, truthfully. What you should actually do is get in touch with them and send them a little video where you explain the situation and a link to your survey, to your ResponseSuite cancellation survey, or as we like to call it, the pausing survey for pausing your account. So you send them over to that, and it says questions like, what's your reason for pausing? Why are you wanting to pause your membership? And the answers might be things like, well, I can't afford it, or I don't have the time to implement this, or the content wasn't relevant, that kind of thing. So you have 4 or 5 options. They choose their option, they go ahead and they cancel. Now, at that point, if they say that the reason for pausing was that they can't afford it, well, you take them to a page where, as a last-ditch attempt, you say, listen, I've got a silver package of this, or bronze package of this, where you get a bit less stuff for a bit less money. Really cool, right? Equally, if somebody says that they haven't got the time to implement it, well, you could take them to a training where you give them help in how to get more out of your tool or out of your program or out of your software, and you help them to resolve the thing that they said is making them pause. It's really powerful. It's not about pulling the wool over their eyes or trying to stop them from canceling, not at all. It's just a way of saying, well, is that really the best option for you, or can you hang around for longer, get more value out of this program, and we'll help you get the most value out of it. Now, there are some things you literally can't solve, like a change in their personal circumstances, that kind of thing. That's okay. Those people, you're just collecting great data, and that's really going to help you going forward in making sure that you can solve that for people moving forward. So that's really, really powerful too. You can, of course, you can also use, if you aren't using our HTML, if you aren't using our API integrations, which is currently Aweber, GetResponse, and MailChimp, of course, you can use any HTML form that you just take from your autoresponder, and you can use that as well. So that's really, really powerful. Cool. So we'll give it another couple of minutes, see if there's any more questions pop in.
I'm just really interested, from all the different strategies that we've shared with you, which of those do you feel like you could get the most benefit from quickest? So of all the three different strategies, which one would be the most impactful in your business as it is right now? Just let me know. Pop it in the Q&A box for me. I'm just personally curious as to where you see your business at and which one you see having the greatest impact. I mean, I realize all 3 of them. I think we should all be doing all 3 of them. But for you right now, which one is the most impactful?
I have to scroll through this questions list. There we go. We should send out a survey, really, to ask this information, shouldn't we?
We should.
What would be most beneficial, or what is most beneficial from the stuff that we've talked about today?
What's your big takeaway?
I think they've all gone quiet because they're all busy filling out their PayPal details to sign up. Welcome aboard. Richard. Yeah, Richard. Good to have you with us, Richard. There's a couple, but
Chris has just jumped on top of Richard. I don't mean that in the way it sounds.
Welcome aboard. It's great to have you with us. We love having. We're so excited to share this with you. You know, this isn't just another software platform. This has been our baby for such a long time now. So we're so excited to have you here. Avi says the most impactful is the idea of having a key question with an answer that leads to a specific list. Very
Absolutely.
Cool. Excellent.
Massive difference, isn't it?
Damien said, have you ever thought about using this for get paid to complete offers? It's not really part of our business model. I know there is a business out there that is to do with paying people to complete surveys and people who are earning a living by completing surveys. Of course, if you already run surveys, ResponseSuite gives you a more powerful way to do it. So it would certainly help. Regardless of what it is, what their purpose is, what their business model is. For our business model is pay for paid advertising and have that advertising sent into a thing. But you can kind of do however you want. Yeah. Avi says, interested in learning the 22 different places to place a ResponseSuite link. Well, we're going to go through them in detail in the Survey Marketing Masterclass. Or if you want a quick overview of them, they're actually posted on our blog. If you go to blog.responsesuite.com, blog.responsesuite.com, you'll have to go back a couple of pages. But there's 2 blog posts, part 1 and part 2. So there's 22 ways to use the survey to grow your business that you've probably never thought of. Part 1 and part 2. It's called something like that. And then we're actually doing a separate blog post on each one, but we're kind of skimming over them as best we can in a blog post. We're going to go really in depth on it all in the masterclass.
Practically show you how to actually make them. Scott said, yeah, the segmentation presenting an offer immediately is incredible. Thank you, Scott. The reason we built the platform, I'm pleased you're on board with that. It's good to have you. Customer engagement is the way forward, in my humble opinion. And this just lets us almost read their minds, which lets us really tailor our content and message. Absolutely, Mark.
Absolutely, Mark, and good to see you on board. Welcome to ResponseSuite. I know that that you'll love using it and find a lot of benefit from it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It is a bit like reading your customers' minds, finding out what they're really needing right now and offering to help them at that moment.
Oscar says, what are the extra perks you get by grabbing the OTO? So basically, it's 8 weeks of live training. Here's the thing. The tool is really powerful, but it's made more powerful if you use it kind of right. So that's what you're going to get in the Survey Marketing Masterclass. But if you want to get the real, like, absolute more out of it, what you can do is
the absolute more.
The absolute more. If you want to get even more out of it, we are going to be running 8 weeks of live training webinars on top of the 4 weeks that you get included. The first 4 weeks is all about traffic. So running paid advertising, primarily from Facebook or entirely from Facebook, into surveys specifically. So how do you find the right audiences? How do you do the targeting? How do you do all of that stuff? How do you write the perfect ads? How do you do all of that, the positioning, the placements, everything? So I'm going to be running that bit because that's my bag. And then the next bit is, well, what do you do with those people once they've filled out your survey? Sure, you can sell them stuff straight away, but what's the best way to do segmentation-driven email marketing? That's Kennedy's bag. So he's going to be doing 4 weeks of webinars on that. So you're getting 4 live training sessions that are all about traffic, 4 that are all about engagement, and you get the unlimited response suite as well. So it means you can go from 30,000 responses a month to unlimited. It means you can have unlimited surveys at any one time, so you can roll this out as much and as big as you want to. But really, it's the core of it is definitely that training. If you send us a message, Avi, we'll send you that in the support desk.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Basically, Avi's won response suite, but he's asking about how you get the upsell. So if you send me the support, in fact, we've already got it, haven't we?
Actually, I can message him a little answer by text, I think.
Oh yeah, cool. So we can send you the link just to grab that bit. Just typing it in, so bear with me while I'm quiet, because I can't do more than one thing at once.
Whoa.
There we go. We'll just send that privately. There you go. That's for you.
That's for Avi.
So you'll be able to jump on board with that. Okay, so it's past. We'll give them a couple more minutes, and then we'll start to wrap this training up. If you've enjoyed the training, by the way, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get your feedback in the chat box, in the Q&A box. You can, of course, go and let everybody know on Facebook and hashtag ResponseSuite. Spread the word about our brand new platform and all of that. So a little bit later on today for us, so tomorrow if you're in America, this goes live to the world. It's $297 during the launch week, but you save $100 right now on this webinar
early bird, yeah.
As the early bird. So you've got just a few more minutes to jump on board and grab your $100 discount. Yeah. Thank you, Kate. Awesome stuff. Thank you. Glad you've enjoyed it. This is really cool. You save yourself a lovely little $100 there. Damien said, is there a replay? I missed most of the webinar. We'll have to dig it out and see if the replay has worked. But if it has, we'll be able to send it out. Obviously, this is the $100 discount right now, which is good. The proper launch price of this week is $297 instead of $197. And then obviously when June comes, it's going to be much more expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. So one final time, just let you know the way to grab this $100 discount on this early bird thing before we go live on launch week tomorrow is to go to ResponseSuiteDeal.com. Make sure you head over there and lock in that best price for life. You never have to pay for another survey builder again. You never have to do any And other survey builders just can't do what ResponseSuite can do, and that's why we built it. So even if you thought, actually, the things that we talked about don't fit your business, I don't know how you would think that, but let's just say worst case scenario, if you run surveys to find out how people felt and thought about your product, your services, and your courses, imagine never having to pay for a survey platform again and be able to just freely use a premium survey platform forever with the latest updates, the latest technology, because this is going to be updated and ad infinitum. Like the features we're going to be rolling out are going to be incredible. We can talk about some of them right now. We're going to be launching Facebook Pixel integration.
Yeah, so you can actually take people who fill out your survey, and depending on what they say, you can put them into different places. You can put them into a different Facebook audience based on what they say. This is going to be really cool. So Facebook Pixel, Facebook audience integration. Cool. That's just nice little things like you can put page breaks in your surveys and break them up into multiple places. We've got more integrations with more autoresponders rolling out over the coming weeks and months.
But of course, remember, the autoresponder integrations are a nice bonus, and you can do some really smart things with them. But like we said, Rob and I both use Infusionsoft, and in ResponseSuite here we use ActiveCampaign. We just use the form code and put it into the custom HTML. So whichever autoresponder you're using right now, if you can get a form code, ResponseSuite is the way to get people onto your lists.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really, really powerful. We've got more stuff rolled out. I mean, we've got an enormous plan of stuff that needs to be rolled out.
A massive, enormous plan. But there's some really, really exciting stuff. There's only some stuff we can talk about because we've got to be careful what we say too early. So, but we've got so many things packed, like surprises that we're going to be launching out even this week. Things we're going to be adding into your account. So those of you, everybody, all of you who have jumped on and grabbed yourself this great deal with the ResponseSuite, you're going to be getting some lovely surprise emails from us this week saying, hey, we just added this, and you were smart enough to grab this, so well done for you.
Awesome. Well, let's call it a day. We'll wrap this webinar up. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us, and thank you so much to everybody who has jumped on board and seized their lifetime ResponseSuite license and saved themselves $100.
If you have any issues at all, we are here, okay? We are always here. Drop us an email to support@responsesuite.com.
That will open us a ticket in our system so it gets logged. It won't go to spam or get missed or anything.
And Rob and I are the founders of the company, and we answer the support tickets because we really genuinely want to make this an incredible thing for you and your business. All right. Thanks for being here. Go take action on all of the strategies we have shared with you today and start using your account. Speak soon. It's Kennedy and Rob signing off.
Bye.